Hi everyone, and welcome back to our planning of our off-grid cabin for Revit. So the last time we reviewed rough sketching, you saw that example that I wanted you to see of what your rough sketch of your floor plan should look like. What I forgot to mention and what I forgot to show you actually is the document that we have for typical room sizes. I don't expect you guys to know how big, you know, a small living room is versus a big space or a big living room or a small bedroom, you know, what sizes those are. I don't want you to, I mean, you are very much more than welcome to go and measure your own bedrooms and your own spaces. That would actually be a really great exercise for you guys to see how big a space actually is. But we have, for your convenience, a typical room sizes chart. So I'm just going to open this to give you a quick look at what is on this. So typical room sizes. All right. So it gives you the room on the left, living, dining, kitchen, utility room. That's like your furnace room in the basement, bedrooms, bathrooms, halls, garage, dens, you know, walk-in closet. This is a regular closet, and these are walk-in closets. So this actually is very handy for you guys to keep, you know, to keep in your files. So this top one is 12 foot by 16 foot, and so that's imperial, and then below it is the same size as in metric. So this is great, has great versatility for you guys to know the room sizes in both measurements units. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the kitchen design. So you can find, this is a lesson that I've given in, let's see. This is in PowerPoint, and I've changed it into a PDF document. So let's review this PowerPoint presentation of our, I'm just going to expand this here, of our kitchen design. All right, this doesn't open up anymore. So there we go. Kitchen design for Tech Design grade 12. So the modern kitchens are being designed to make them an integral part of the living or family rooms. I don't know about you, but we spend a lot of time as a family in the kitchen. Even sitting in the kitchen, hanging out. Efficiency in room design is important. Kitchen work centers should be well planned with major pieces of equipment properly placed. The room should be designed with equipment and appliances in mind. So there's three major considerations when you're thinking about a kitchen, is your equipment or major appliances like your fridge, your stove, and your sink. That's equipment, it's not an appliance, but. And storage, so cabinet spaces, and workspaces, counters. There are three work centers within a kitchen. Storage and preparation center includes the refrigerator, storage area for food, cleaning, sink center, ideally located between the fridge and the cooking, so the stove, between the fridge and the stove. Cooking service center should be conveniently located nearest to the dining room and or breakfast nook, as close to the breakfast nook as possible, if you have a breakfast nook. So these are just some guidelines. Sink location. Sink can be placed in 5 locations in the kitchen, under a window, on a peninsula. A peninsula is like an island that is attached to a wall. On an island is like a counter in the middle that is not attached to a wall. Away from a window or in a corner. If it's in a corner, it's going to be on an angle. So kitchen arrangements. So let's go through the different types of kitchen shapes. So these are the most popular 6 basic kitchen layouts. and they can be combined and modified. So we have a single wall. That's everything that's up against one wall. We have a double or galley kitchen. So this is the one that you walk through, and there's a counter spaces on both sides. There's an L shape that goes on 2 sides, a U shape on 3 walls. A peninsula is like an L shaped with an island that's attached to the wall here, and an island is an L shape with a floating counter in the middle. Okay. Now we're going to learn about a work triangle. One of the major considerations when designing a kitchen and placing appliances is the work triangle. The work triangle connects the sink, refrigerator, and the stove, since most kitchen work traffic is between these points. Though traffic should be routed around the work triangle when possible. So when you're in the kitchen and you're in the way, you know, if people are walking on you and you're just standing there, it's probably because you're standing in this work triangle. And here is a visual idea of the work triangles in each kitchen. All right, because these are the, you know, you go to the fridge, you wash something, you cook something, you throw it in the sink, you go back to cook something, you need more ingredients. So this is your work triangle. And you want them, you know, really close, because I don't know how many times I'm cooking and, you know, need an ingredient and I don't want to go very far. Or I'm cooking noodles and I need to bring my noodles to the sink, and, you know, you don't want to have to walk across a long way to get from your kitchen stove to your sink. Okay. Sorry, fixing the screen here. Your work triangle. For maximum efficiency, the total length of the triangles should be between 13 feet and 22 feet. Although this may be difficult to achieve in some situations, I mean, you're just going to do the best you can. So here's a peninsula kitchen. So it has 1 wall, 2 walls, and then this one is like an island that's attached to this wall. And here's an example. So 60 inches, 42 inches, and 60 inches. Here's your refrigerator, your stove, and your sink. I just want to mention right here too, this is a dishwasher. The dishwasher must be attached to your sink because you're using the same plumbing. Alright, so here's another one. 4 to 7 feet, kitchen, sink, stove. So here's some averages, 4 to 7 feet, 4 to 7 feet, 4 to 9 feet. And you can configure these in any which way you want to, but make sure you keep those dimensions in mind. So the U-shaped kitchen is the most efficient, effectively combining all work elements and excluding through traffic. Through traffic are people who are just walking through your area. And here's an example of a kitchen with an island with seating and some information about how far away these walking aisles should be, these walkways. In a larger open kitchen layout, the addition of a peninsula or island unit will greatly increase efficiency. Traffic will be routed through properly, and the unit can be used to separate kitchen and dining areas. So there we have the working triangle. So nobody needs to come back here if there's walkways around here or here. Right? So if you're cooking and someone's standing in your work triangle, they're going to be in the way. You might as well put them to work. Okay, so appliance locations. I want you to also keep this in mind. Sorry. So here is your your range or your stove, your cooktop. The range, so this one has an oven in it. Stove and oven must be a minimum of 12 inches from adjacent counter and 24 inches away from a window. So here's the 12 inches. This is what I mean. So it needs to be a foot or 12 inches off of the adjacent counter. This is the adjacent counter. This is the counter that it's on. And it also needs to be 24 inches away from a window. The reason why it needs to be away from the window is because if you have the window open and it's breezing, it's going to affect and could possibly spread fire, but it's really going to affect your cooking. All right, so over here, this is the refrigerator. Must be a minimum of 10 inches from adjacent counter. So this is the adjacent counter that it's on, or sorry, the adjacent counter. This is the counter that it's on, and it needs to be 10 inches minimum distance. It can be greater, but minimum 10 inches. And right here, the sink needs to be 10 inches from adjacent counter. Actually, that says 12 inches, so we need to correct that. 12 inches. The sink must be a minimum distance of 12 inches from the adjacent counter. And just for your research and information, I've attached a link here for kitchen design tips. It's an article that is 31 ways to a better kitchen. So just some more ideas for your design. All right, happy kitchen designing.